are cycles to disease. I mean, for example, you got a flu shot every year because they're anticipating how it will change cyclically each year. Uh, this current pandemic, supposedly, I mean, is really a scam for other things. I mean, our computer was showing there was no way that this was going to be a major event, and now you just had the CDC come out and drastically reduce the deaths according to COVID. Doctors I've spoken to, I mean, they've rarely seen anybody that has died from COVID. They usually had something else. And that's what the flu does. It usually does affect the elderly and common colds. They're coronaviruses. They affect, respiratory areas. So the hype that has been driven over this particular thing with COVID is really for alternative ideas. And you'll see the WHO and World Economic Forum coming out and saying, oh, we have to take advantage of the collapse in the economy, rebuild it for climate change. I mean, this has been the agenda from the beginning. So what our computer shows is that this was really not a serious threat from a health perspective. That does not arrive until 2022. We tend to see things at that stage. I mean, cyclically, viruses, that's when we're going to see something, much stronger than this. I know a lot of people have criticized Trump and saying, oh, common household cleaners, but it's actually true. I mean, it's what they tell everybody, just wash your hands, because this virus is nothing really, and simple soap and water will kill it. So that's why, to basically just clean surfaces and things of this nature. So the type of disease that can be much more serious are things that, viruses like SARS or whatever, MRSA, which are not, you can't kill with any sort of antibiotic, and it won't, you can't kill it with just simply washing your hands. And, there is also the reemergence of the Black Plague in China. There's been some cases showing up again over there. Now, does that eventually filter into the entire world again and become something more by 2022? Perhaps. I can't necessarily say which particular virus is going to take place, if it's a virus or a bacterial infection, but they're all basically the same, and that's when they are cyclically tend to attack. The other thing which is historically, which has been linked to it, is that there's a precursor of a decline in weather, so that crops fail, things of this nature. And the theory has been that people are at the same time, they suffer from malnutrition. We are seeing that there has been a sharp decline in food production, first because of this coronavirus and lockdowns and things of this nature, but also weather. I mean, China is suffering from a severe problem with a food shortage, which is developing there. So is Korea. In Spain, we're seeing similar things. So I think by the time we get to 2022, we're going to see a sharp rise in the health issues again. Will it be something like the Black Plague and 50% of the people die? I don't think so. That was also a period in time where people didn't understand the cleanliness or even take a bath. So I mean, those are quite different periods in time, but it doesn't mean that cyclically we're going to see something that's much more significant. And as I said, the CDC has just reduced all the actual deaths attributed to COVID to quite minimal, about 6% of what they were claiming. So Um, this just goes to show you how much the lockdowns and the virus has been used for political purposes elsewhere. I mean, even if you look at New Zealand, they've used it to postpone the elections. So these are dangers that we really face. It's been more propaganda than anything else. So 2022 is where I would expect more of a serious threat from health. And this is also why our computer was showing that this was not a going to be a serious event with COVID.